Today is the day to remain weather aware across the Deep South as a significant severe weather outbreak is likely to unfold, and we'll give you all of the details that you need to know in today's weather forecast. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe down below so you get up-to-date weather forecasts right here on this channel, and be sure to press the thumbs up button. It helps out more than you know. Getting into the weather forecast, here is the outlook from the Storm Prediction Center for today across the Deep South. We have three colors here. In the dark green, that is a level 1 out of 5, a marginal risk. In the yellow, that is a level 2 out of 5, a slight risk. And in the orange, that is a level 3 out of 5, an enhanced risk for severe storms. And especially if you live in the yellow and orange shaded colors, we really need to be weather aware today, especially if you're from Jackson, Mississippi, back through Alexandria, Louisiana, or the Lufkin, Texas region. We really need to be weather aware as we go through our Monday. Breaking down one of our biggest threats today is going to be tornadoes, actually, across the Deep South. That could extend as far north as southeastern Missouri, western Tennessee, and northeast Arkansas, but the most significant tornado potential will be in this brown and especially this yellow shaded color with the hatch marks. That means strong, long-track tornadoes will be possible from south central Mississippi, including the Jackson metro area, back through Alexandria, Louisiana, and the Lufkin, Texas region as we go through this afternoon and this evening, along with the threat for damaging winds and large hail. Breaking down some of the details on why we see the severe weather today, we have the instability out there across eastern Texas, Louisiana, and south central Mississippi. It's not the strongest instability we've ever seen, but it's up to around 1,500 to 2,000 joules per kilogram, which would characterize this as moderate instability, but a very powerful mid-level jet in the 500 millibar layer of our atmosphere will offer some strong wind shear in the mid-levels coming out of Texas and into the Dixie Alley region. And we have the turning of the winds with height. With the mid-level jet, we have winds coming out of the west-southwest. With the low-level jet here in the 850 millibar layer of the atmosphere, winds will be coming off of the Gulf of Mexico from the south-southwest. So we have turning of the winds with height as we go through the afternoon and evening across the Dixie Alley region, and thus that's why we have that significant severe weather outbreak likely to unfold today. So here's the timing. This morning across portions of the Deep South, we could be seeing scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms from Arkansas down through eastern Texas and southeastern Oklahoma. Most of this activity will likely be sub-severe, but I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of these thunderstorms are feisty enough to produce some 60-mile-per-hour winds and some quarter-size hail. As of this morning, the tornado threat will remain rather low. That changes, though, as we go into this afternoon. As the daytime heating heats up the environment, we have the warm, moist, and unstable air off the Gulf of Mexico here with a cold front coming in, and we really have to watch a couple waves of these storms. We got the prefrontal storms that will likely be those semi-discrete supercells. Those will be the ones capable of producing those significant EF2 or stronger type of tornadoes. And then behind that, we have more of a QLCS line of storms that could be producing more of that damaging wind and large hail threat as we go through the height of the afternoon, and then that will transition more to a damaging wind and heavy rainfall threat across Mississippi and into western Alabama as we go into later on this evening into the overnight hours of your Tuesday morning. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on. Then as we go into Tuesday, tomorrow, we have another marginal risk of severe weather for the Carolinas, Georgia, and the southeastern areas, including northwest Florida, Alabama, and parts of the New Orleans region. And we have a slight risk in the level 2 out of 5 category there with that yellow shaded color across southern Alabama and far northwestern Florida. down near the Mobile, Alabama region as we go to Tuesday. And this does include the threat for a few more tornadoes from the Carolinas, Georgia, and down around the southeastern areas there. So definitely something to watch out for on Tuesday. Here's what the precipitation map looks for on Tuesday afternoon, evening time frame. We got some colder rains up to the north across the Great Lakes region, down through the Atlantic, the mid-Atlantic, and then we have that line of thunderstorms across the southeast that will be posing the risk for some strong to severe storms. Out west, it's all about the high pressure system across the Rockies. Very dry conditions out here on Tuesday. Nothing to worry about out west. And then as we go into Tuesday night, the system will be shifting north and eastbound, running into some colder air up here into southeastern Canada and New England. This could be putting down a few inches of snow across Ontario, especially into Quebec and interior New England, for upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and even into Maine, and even parts of Massachusetts as well for our Tuesday night time frame. And the severe weather threat will likely be ongoing as we go into early Tuesday evening. Overall, here's your rainfall accumulation through the height of this week. This goes all the way up through Thursday, Thanksgiving Day itself on November 23rd. Lots of heavy rain for the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, and down through the southeastern states here. These are areas that desperately need the rainfall, so we'll take any drop of rain we can get at this point, especially with the drought out there. But it will come at the cost of some flooding. A lot of this will be coming down in short order with those thunderstorms. A lot of those thunderstorms producing heavy rainfall rates of over 1 to 2 inches per hour. So from today into Tuesday, we do have a marginal risk of flash flooding across the Mid-South and also the Deep South through the Dixie Alley region here over the next 24 hours. And then that shifts over portions of the Delmarva region, down through the western Carolinas, eastern Tennessee, getting into north central Georgia and southeastern Alabama as we go from Tuesday, November 21st into Wednesday, November 22nd. Looking at the cold side of this storm system, like I said, it will be putting down a few inches of snowfall here across Quebec and into interior New England, and we wouldn't be surprised to see 3 to 6 inches of snow being a common number here across portions of Maine, getting into Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York, and then all across southern portions of Quebec as we go through this week, especially by midweek, seeing the snowfall as we go Tuesday and into Wednesday. So definitely seeing one of our first major snows of the season for parts of New England and even southeastern Canada as we go through this week. Looking forward to Thanksgiving Day. If you're having any plans out there for Thanksgiving, here are your high temperatures across the country and especially even into southern Canada. That's where the coldest of our temperatures will be, with temperatures up there across Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec into the single digits and the teens for high temperatures on Thanksgiving Day. Pretty chilly as well across the northern tier of the United States from Montana through the Dakotas, Minnesota, and the Northwoods of Wisconsin, and that spills over into the UP of Michigan with highs up there into the middle 20s. But from south from there, they will be cooler temperatures, but still into the 50s across the southern tier of the United States on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Then as we go into Friday, that colder air sinks a little bit further to the south with that freezing line, and that will set up our next snow system out across the Rockies as we go through late week. So on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, another clipper system will be pushing in out of that northwest flow as we're shifting our weather pattern around, bringing in the northwest flow from southwestern Canada into the northwest United States, bringing in all that cold air, supporting that snowfall on Thanksgiving Day. That will shift down into the Colorado Rockies and the Front Range as we go into Friday, November 24th. We do have some precipitation along the Gulf Coast and the southeast through late week as well. A lot of this will be scattered activity, so no all-day washouts or anything like that. Plenty of dry hours, but just have an umbrella in case you do go outdoors for any errands out there running late this week. Here's our snowfall accumulation overall from Thanksgiving Day through this upcoming weekend, and you can see we do have some heavier snows across the Rockies, getting into portions of the western high plains. We could be seeing a few inches worth of snow as we go across Colorado, getting into Wyoming there, possibly a couple inches of snow for western Nebraska, western Kansas, and that snow line could get very close to the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles and into northern New Mexico as well. So something to keep an eye on if you are traveling out west. Besides that, though, the long-range forecast calls for well below average temperatures across 90% of the country. You have to go to southern or central Florida to see above normal temperatures as we round out the month of November. And looking at this, it's taking more of an El Nino pattern where we have the drier conditions across the Pacific Northwest and through the northern tier of the United States, and much wetter conditions further to the south across the Four Corners region, Texas, near the Gulf Coast, and up the southeastern coast here through the Carolinas and Virginia, as we round out the month here of November with our precipitation. And just checking in on the El Nino conditions, we are in a strong El Nino. We have warm waters, and these are still rapidly warming as of late across the central Pacific Ocean. And here is the index. What you need to have for a strong El Nino is plus 1.5 on the index or higher, and we are currently at plus 1.686. So that is definitely indicating that we are entering into a strong El Nino that will take us not only through the rest of November, but into our winter months of December, January, and likely into at least early February, moving ahead through the winter as well. And just checking in on the first half of December, from December 2nd or so through the 15th, it's going to be more of that El Nino look with above normal temperatures across the northern tier of the United States, especially into the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, and New England here. And then equal chances of above or below normal temperatures across the desert Southwest and near the Gulf Coast regions for the first half of December. And the precipitation outlook does start to take more of an El Nino look as well during that first half of December, with below normal precipitation up across the northern high plains. More active weather for California and the Sacramento Valley with above normal precipitation there. That will move into portions of the Gulf Coast and the Southeast Coast, including Florida especially, getting more wet weather as we go through the first half of the month of December. And that will bode well, though, with our drought ongoing across the southern tier of the United States. I know a lot of people have been telling me that Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama and so forth across the south have been getting very dry, some cracks in the soil down there. We need the moisture desperately, and the first step at that is today. Unfortunately, it comes with the cost of severe thunderstorms, but as we move through the long range, hopefully we can see those nice soaking rains with less severe weather and just more straight rainfall as we go through the long range period. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It's absolutely free to do, and you get detailed weather breakdowns across North America right here on this channel, and we will keep you updated on the severe weather as well. Follow me on Twitter at hweather420 for more updates on the severe weather potential today. Make sure you like today's video by giving it a thumbs up, especially if you like today's weather content. Share this video with friends, family, and on social media, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday out there.